Hello everyone, I am Ramilius and welcome back to Rimworld. Last episode we left on a positive note as our base took shape and everything seemed to fall into place. I am excited to get started again, so get something to drink, get comfortable and let's begin. Wanting to keep a stock of fresh food, it is necessary to create a freezer. We can do this just by creating another stockpile room, but cooling it to a freezing temperature. This prevents the food from spoiling or rotting. As we finish laying out the base of the freezer, a wild woman walks in. If you are skilled enough, you can tame her, so she becomes a permanent part of your colony. However, for now, we will allow Daughtry to freely roam around the base if she desires. Why do we have a skull here? A few moments later, a transport pod crashes nearby, carrying an escapee called Loser. Having no place to place her so she can heal, we quickly build a bed. Make it medical, and go to rescue her. However, unfortunately, her wounds were too much for her, and before we could tend to her, she passes away. At least, she died a free woman. It is best to give her a burial spot. I doubt Lou and Justice would like to sleep with a corpse in the room. Since we have assigned cleaning, it is best to also make sure not too much is seen as a home area, since that will be the area that they clean. Now, it is time for some electricity. We built ourselves some wind turbines, since that is all we know. We add some coolers and heaters to every room so that no matter what time of day it is, or what time of year, we can keep at a reasonable temperature. And whilst we are building that, a solar flare ruptures, rendering our non-existent electrical appliances useless. Whilst Igor, our faithful canine, is struck by plague. A little bit after, a slaver trader drops by. We have a busy morning here. Let's now build some shelves. Although they do not hold all items, the items they do hold can be held in greater quantity. In the meanwhile, we will go and trade with Ganola, the slave trader. But they don't hold many things, but they do have 2 slaves. One of which has something we are missing, a passion for medicine. Finally a good doctor. We will trade some of our items, including a heart. What did my people crash with? Seriously. But we will trade these items for Valeria Wassalit, a paramedic slave. A bit recluse since she was a slave for quite a while, she might feel a bit at home here with people who share their own bit of troubles in life. Perhaps she used to be a combat medic who lost a skirmish and was taken captured. Maybe she will tell us someday. We get an eclipse throwing us into an early darkness, but have enough lighting to not be a big problem. And assign our newly built freezer with only food and corpses so that these do not spoil. Slowly digging away all the steel, it feels as if we're gathering enough resources, but still a lot is not being built. As the caravan leaves and our people sleep, I notice that, thankfully, Lou is chopping wood. Daughtry almost looks like a confused elderly person, rather than a wild woman. And now some frogos appear. Sadly, we still cannot tame them, but as these are gentle giants, they will not hurt us if we let them be. I do still get some notices that there is food poisoning, and somehow I get the feeling that it will be a while before we get rid of all the bad food. If the food is prepared in a dirty area or by an unskilled chef, the food will not be properly prepared and thus cause food poisoning. The wind turbine is getting resources, we are still mining happily along. Igor is still being trained and has developed an immunity for the plague, which I am thankful for. We can set our cooling temperatures to a low -30 degrees now, just to make sure that if, or rather when, power goes out, that the food won't immediately start thawing out. A new thing that hasn't been in the game when I started playing Rimworld for the first time is that you can link shelves together. It holding more resources wasn't in the game then either, but now only having to update a single shelf in an area to update them all is wonderful. Just like being able to automatically cut the area for the wind turbines. No longer do I need to build unsightly, disgusting concrete underneath the areas, but I can just auto-assign the cutting to cull all the bigger plants and trees that would hinder the power generation. I also learned that you can assign a hostility response mode, since not everybody has to try and run, but rather have a fighting chance if they ever get into a small fight with something or someone. I built some additional walls to my freezer as a sort of insulation. It used to help tremendously in keeping the cold in. I'm not sure how it is in the new version of the game. It is also time to add another small area dedicated to production. There is a marshy area I need to build a bridge, since I cannot build regular flooring here. We need to start researching a method to keep our power going, even if it's not being generated actively. And since everyone has ragged clothing, perhaps a tailor bench would help as well. This is when we get a raid by the red bows. They will attack immediately. It seems to be a single person, Olivia. Perhaps they are testing the waters, or perhaps our patience. We draft our hunter couple, take position and aim. Valeria will run, whilst Igor will take the hits. And our trusty couple will quickly kill Olivia, leaving Igor worse for wear. Even if Olivia came as an enemy, we will still dig a grave out of respect that she dared this expedition and raid on her own. By now, starvation is setting in with some, so it is time to seriously consider hunting properly. I assign a buttload of animals to get hunted. A lot will not retaliate by being hunted. However, some have a percentage chance of retaliating whenever they get hurt during being hunted. This will not pose a threat with some creatures, however other creatures might wipe our colony on their own. For now, there's plenty to hunt however. Though, just as we finish setting this up, wild monkeys become mad. 2 of them, to be exact. Unfortunately for them, they encounter Lou, and hearing the shots, Igor shortly after shows up. And together they quickly defeat and kill the monkeys. Some new trees have sprouted, so I will assign them to be cut down. I check the temperatures of some rooms, and being adjacent to the freezer, the storage area becomes quite cold as well. I notice some jade and decide to mine it. Doing so reminds me, weren't events also scaled to escalate according to the value of items you have? But thus far it has been easy enough to survive, so I think we can manage. Some sci-fi tea drops nearby, but not willing to take the risk of addiction just yet, we leave it forbidden for now. We have deconstructed some ship chunks by now, giving us ample supply of steel. I keep updating my priorities for work. And Igor is eager to be back up and running again, since he has been fully healed now. That was a big explosion. We catch some fire from it as well. Our electrical tailor exploded due to the rain. I will assign some roofs that will keep the electrical tailor safe until the room is completed. And add some bills for some clothing for my colonists. A good variety of everything. and now a masterwork dresser has been created. Whenever furniture or any type of object is created, it will be created with different quality levels. The higher the skill, the better chance of creating a better quality item or furniture. So creating this masterwork is quite lucky and will surely improve the beauty of the room it is in. Now I will add some tool cabinets in the production area to speed up the tailor. And add some pathways to ensure a nicer area to walk on, and it will keep from vegetation becoming a slowing hazard. There is something about a thunderstorm that is kind of terrifying yet soothing at the same time. It strikes nearby that can destroy the earth, but also nearly tranquil state of the environment. There is a transport pod that crashed nearby, carrying Gyros from the Red Bows, our enemy. Even though they are an enemy, perhaps we can better our chances of peace with them. It's a pyromaniac. I will just let him lay there and die. No way I'm going to risk my entire base being destroyed for a pyromaniac in this game. They have a godly power to burn any and everything, no matter what you try to do and stop them. I connect some more paths. And add some more lights to our production area. Looking around for some more minerals to mine, I keep wondering at the back of my head, what about that ancient danger? When would I be willing to risk unleashing what is inside? I can't even remember what these rooms could hold. All in due time. An aurora shows up, which does improve everyone's mood quite significantly. then we get an interesting message. There's a ship back to the stars. We would have to travel far to get there, but perhaps we can get back to space, see what is left of our ship. Perhaps find more survivors out there. Perhaps Valeria and others who will have joined us by then will be willing to join us on a voyage there into the stars. We have our goal now set before us, and with that, we have claimed a renewed vigor. Thank you very much for watching this episode. If you have any advice or questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you liked the video, please like it, though if this was not enjoyable at all, feel free to dislike it as well. If you want to see more of my content coming in the future, please do subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.